The Azores are an incredible archipelago of 9 islands situated in the middle of the Atlantic. They are actually Portuguese islands, and so they've got a wonderful mix of cultural influences, and I cannot describe how you just do not feel like you are in Europe. It's incredible. The islands each offer something slightly different, but they're all volcanic and they're just a remarkable place. You feel like you're either in New Zealand or in Hawaii, and I've been to both of those places, and I can tell you it was a long way to go, and if I'd known about the Azores before I went, I might have questioned whether it was worth going that far to see such spectacular scenery when it was actually available on our doorstep effectively. They're a remarkable set of islands.
The thing I like about the Azores is it's like nowhere. It's as un-European as anywhere I've ever been in Europe. When you're in the big towns like Pedro Delgado, which is really beautiful, it feels more sort of colonial than it does Portuguese. And I think that's the nature of the Azores, because they're out there in the Atlantic. And I think there's loads and loads of different influences that come to bear there. It's an absolutely fascinating place. You go to the Azores and you feel like you're in the Azores, you're living Azorean life, not a tourist life. Like, fantastic place.
I think that the Azores are slightly less well known than they should be for their utter drama that the landscape provides. They're very fertile islands, which means they're lush and they're green. You've got crater lakes, you've got towering peaks, you've got incredible coast and cliffs, and they're some of the most dramatic places I've ever been. The wonderful thing about the Azores is that our holidays basically you can make them as active or as inactive as you like, depending on what you fancy. There's a huge wealth of opportunities just to enjoy the local culture, the local food, some amazing wine tasting to be had. There's UNESCO World Heritage Sites, there's geological wonders to enjoy, and our trips encapsulate all of these.
One of the great things that we really enjoyed was going to see our lunch being lowered into the ground to be cooked, going off, doing lots of activities, and then coming back at lunchtime and our lunch had been cooked in the hot earth in the geothermal activities. So that was fantastic.
On the Azores, we went whale watching and snorkeling with dolphins. I dived into the water with a snorkel on, and there was a pod of 20 or 25 dolphins lower down, and they were a bit skittish that day, so they hightailed it pretty quickly. But to watch a pod of dolphins swimming away.
The Azores offers an amazing array of activities, and while some of them might not be unique, we include mountain biking in many of our destinations. It's the setting for these activities that just makes it so special. So you can mountain bike around a crater lake, which is just an incredible thing to do.
We do a 3-island trip, what they call their island triangle, and I think that's fantastic, because that shows that's on some of the smaller islands, and that's just shows you a completely different way of living. And there's even on one of them a UNESCO World Heritage Site winery, vineyard. So I put that pretty high on the must-dos if you go to the Azores.
Typical sort of mixed Mediterranean style food, so lots of fresh fish, meat, vegetables. In terms of food that's unique to them, they do a particular dish on Ponta Delgada of black pudding and pineapple. Sounds a little bit bizarre, but I can assure you it's absolutely delicious.
The hotel we use in San Miguel is very comfortable. It's a holiday hotel, basically, lovely pool. They do fantastic gin and tonic in these big bowl glasses with lots of ice. Really, really good before you wander into town. It's not in the middle of town, so you don't kind of get any noise in the restaurants and bars, but it's nicely located for visiting those restaurants and bars.
My top tip for the Azores is bring at least 2 memory cards for your camera, because you will take photographs so often and you'll want to be able to record everything. It's the most photogenic place I've ever been.